Good afternoon to one and all who have joined us for the day 2 session of the webinar series, Scaling Up the Entrepreneurial Ladder, Drawing the Right Stratagem, organized by the Incubation Cell of Ethiraj College For Women. Yesterday, day 1 of this webinar series was enlightened with the speaker being Dr. Chakochin, CEO and founder, Franchise Right Today, giving his valuable insights on the traits an entrepreneur must possess to survive among competition, and also focused on significance of franchising and its prominence in entrepreneurship. Today, being the day 2 session, it gives me immense pride to welcome our speaker for the day, who is our very own alumna, Ms. Divya Sridharan, patent agent and independent consultant. I quote Oprah, "Don't worry about being successful, but work towards being significant, and success will naturally follow." This would be definitely fitting the speaker of the day, Ms. Divya, who's one such significant and successful person. Having completed her UG in microbiology in Ethiraj College, she went on to pursue her MSc from SRM University and PG Diploma in Patents Law from Nalsa University, Hyderabad. She started off as a senior research analyst in the year 2010 at eMerge Global Services Private Limited, Chennai, after which she went on to become an associate manager at C Intelligence Service Private Limited, Chennai, where she specialized on IP research, patent drafting, publication research, client interaction, and patent filing. She's currently an independent consultant with expertise in patent services, more particularly patents for law firms, corporate, independent inventors, colleges and universities, and has developed databases for medical research and drug discovery. With diversified experience in various industries such as pharma, biotechnology, life sciences, FMCG, chemistry, and engineering, Ms. Divya also identifies gap areas and promotes research and enables protection through IPR. She provides consulting on conversion of an idea to patent application, patent prosecution till grant, and also conducts and presents seminars in IPR and research progression to create awareness and enable the innovation culture. Ms. Divya also handles team and project management, requirement analysis, project scoping, RFP response, curation, R&D support, resource allocation through expertise mapping, management through delivery timelines, and many more. With patent research and drafting prosecution, competitive technology, and portfolio evaluation as her main domain, with over 10 years of experience, Ms. Divya continues to innovate and scale higher and higher in her field. We are delighted to have you, Ms. Divya Sridharan. Hearty welcome to you. I once again welcome all the participants for today's session. Over to Ms. Divya for the session.
Good evening to one and all. Thank you, Kavita ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. Today, the topic given to me was on innovation, how to protect your ideas and how to get value out of your protection. Okay. Innovation. Can we share the slide also? No? Okay. Innovation and how to gain value out of your innovation. Okay. Next slide. What is innovation? All of us know what is an innovation. Any new idea, any new creation, any new development over the existing process, system, or any existing method, it is an innovation. When we add a value to an existing product or when we add a value to an existing process, we create an innovation for that particular product, right? So in our day-to-day life, everything, whatever we see, whatever we learn, we can innovate in some way or the other. As students, and as we are students and in the phase of learning, we have a lot of opportunities for innovating in any field. Like it need not be just particularly to your subject or to anything around. It can be anything around you. In your day-to-day life, you can identify many such topics and areas for innovation. Okay. For example, when you start learning a subject, when you start understanding a subject, you have a lot of questions and lot of doubts in it. Okay, you need clarifications, right? When you start identifying, when you need your doubts to be clarified, you start identifying areas where you can get answers, right? Either you approach your staff, or you do a research, or you Google it out, or there are several ways to identify answers for your questions. When you start researching on your topic, this leads to identifying answers by yourself, or getting guidance from your staffs and teachers, or also you yourself identify and get an insight out of your questions, right? When this starts, you start addressing the problem also. You start getting to know the solution, address the problem, and that's how innovation starts. Okay, from where you are and you identify a solution to your problem, then it is an innovation. It is an enhancement, right, to already existing problems or already existing gaps. Whenever you address a gap, it is an innovation. It can be a minor addition also, it can be a huge addition, it can be anything. Something which is developed from whatever it is existing, it is an innovation. Okay, next slide. Okay, how to make this as a practice in your day-to-day life? How to make innovation as a culture? You should have the basic qualities of observing, learning, understanding. Okay, when you observe the surrounding and when you observe whatever is happening around you, you start getting to understand and learn what is happening around us. Either it can be a routine, day-to-day routine, like you travel from your home to college and from college to home, and you are present in a class and the class is going on. Everywhere there is a chance for learning, there's an opportunity for learning. And even your subject, you learn the subject, you have doubts, you try to understand, observe, and when you start doing when you start making this as a practice, when you start learning, what happens is you start identifying problems around us. You start identifying the gaps, whether it can be a research topic. You are having a problem in understanding your research topic. You get inside, you go in depth and explore the topic, and you identify the gap in the topic, right? And similarly, when this is related to academics. Even otherwise, when you start your day till the end of the day, you go through several things, right? You travel, you take a bus, or you take an auto, or you travel by different modes. And while walking also, you see so many things around you, right? Each each way you can identify the gap wherever you are. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like there are problems around us, and when you identify the problem, you start thinking how you can address the problem, and you identify solution. When you are observant, learning, and understanding, you try to provide solutions. Okay, when you know this is the solution for your problem, this is what is the way you have to provide it, this is what you wish for, then you start thinking on those lines and start developing. Like a problem is there, you start developing a solution for the problem. The development can be just a new idea, or enhancement of the existing idea, or it can be you're developing a device, an apparatus, or a process also, like for obtaining the solution for your idea. Then it becomes an innovation. When you practice this in a day-to-day basis, you'll be able to create something new in whatever is existing. These are all innovations, idea, creativity, design. All these are from your mind, right? Your intellect. It's all your intellectual property. So what you have to do is, after doing all this, you have to protect your intellectual property. Whatever you've identified, if it's just within yourself, no one is going to recognize it, or it doesn't add value to you also. So what you do is, you have to protect your idea. You have to protect your creativity. All this happens when you do a intellectual property protection. Next slide. There are how an idea is getting evolved. Like how I told you, you see so many problems outside. For example, if you see that wheel, that was the first designed wheel. See the improvement and how the tire is now. So this is what is innovation. Like from the basic and now what we are using, it is an innovation, right? It need not be a completely new, a completely different product. Okay, it can be an enhancement to an already existing product. You can even reduce the time taken. That can be an innovation, right? You can reduce the cost. You can reduce the weight of the material, or even you can change it with better, like plastics. We are wasting so many plastics, right? You are reusing the plastic in an innovative way. That is an innovation. All this can be, all this are considered as innovation, and from the idea level you are developing it into a product or a process or a system completely, then it is idea evolution. Okay, for example, internet, and you see the aircraft, telephone, all these are from the raw idea we have developed to this level. So any idea can be evolved and it creates a innovation. Okay, next slide. When you have created something, you have addressed the gap, you have identified a solution. How do you protect it from others using it? Okay, it's called your right. Okay, intellectual property rights are our intellect right. Whatever knowledge we have, it has to be protected so that others don't misuse it or steal it from us. Okay, similarly, like property, land property, same way we have a intellectual property and we have to protect it. There are several different types of IPR. Okay, they are patents, copyrights, designs, plant varieties, trademarks, trade secrets, and geographical indications. Okay, in this, patents and copyrights are primarily important for students. Okay, because patents is like you have an idea, you develop it, you can protect it. Copyright is like for your creativity. The music you compose, the diagrams you draw, the artwork, or it can be a photography, it can be your own lyrics or composition, anything. All these come under copyrights. Okay, industrial design is, there are so many architects, right? Architects or any person in that matter, they develop the outward appearance, the texture, the physical appearance of a product or any layout can also be protected. That comes under this industrial design. Okay, plant varieties are not for us actually. Plant varieties are like major farmers and corporates. They develop new varieties of plants, new strains of plants, new seeds of plants. They try to protect it and they sell it. That is plant varieties, and this is also a part of intellectual property. Trademarks and trade secrets are majorly in a business perspective. Okay, trademarks are logo, brand you create for your product. All that comes under, you protect it through your trademark. Whenever you use that symbol, I'll show the examples of trademarks also. Whenever you use a particular symbol and that becomes the brand of your product and you circulate it among your community, or even when you have another franchise or you develop another stream of products also, you can use the same trademark so that it's attributed completely to you. You are the owner of that trademark and that brand. Okay. Trade secrets are not very popular in India. Trade secrets are any secret formula you have, some secret formula which you have and which you have not disclosed it for generations together. Like you have not documented it anywhere, you have not spoken about it anywhere. No one knows this and no document also is there for such a composition or a formula or a method. It can be anything. If that is the case, they are protected under trade secrets. The famous example for trade secret is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola formula is not at all disclosed anywhere. It doesn't have a document also. It is not available anywhere. The trade secret is just passed on to the other person and they start formulating it. So those are trade secrets. Okay. Geographical indications as such is for a area. Like for example, examples are Kanchipuram silk, Mysore silk. It is particular for that area. Darjeeling tea, Assam tea. They're all they are grown there. They have a particular flavor. Like the cocoons and silk developed from Kanchipuram has a specific attribute to it, right? Similarly, Darjeeling tea, Assam tea, the climatic conditions, the area, the complete environment and surrounding contribute to the flavor of that particular tea. So these are all geographical indications and these are also protected. No one can use it outside. They cannot say Kanchipuram silk when they are manufacturing it somewhere else. So these are all geographical indications. These are the most important types of intellectual properties, but our focus will be more for education and student purpose. The focus will be more on patents, copyrights, and industrial designs. Okay. Next slide. Okay. These are just examples of patents. You can see a mobile phone, right? It is a patent. It is a patentable product. I'll explain you how you can identify whether a concept is patentable or non-patentable. Just I'm showing you the examples. Okay, mobile phone is a patentable product. It has what to say? It has a display. It has a feature for battery, extended battery life. It has a feature for, you have designs within it. You have so many features within a phone, right? And each feature can be enhanced in their own. For example, a battery stays for 2 hours. Okay, for example, a battery stays for 2 hours in a particular phone. You can enhance that feature by identifying a new process, or identifying a new device or an adapter, or the battery itself, you're making it in a different way. Then it forms a additional feature for the existing product, right? That is innovation, that is novelty, and that feature can be patented. Similarly, the phone itself can be shown as an example for um, other intellectual property rights also, like the software within the phone, that is not patentable. Software is what? An algorithm, a coding, or a methodology, right? That cannot be patented. Those and all come under copyrights. That is copyright. Software comes under copyright. The product, the phone itself comes as a patentable. Okay. Similarly, the same phone I'll use as an example for trademark also. You have a symbol, right? For Apple, you have a half bit in Apple, right? Apple products. And for Samsung, you have the words written, right? Similarly, each brand has its own way of writing. Realme, Redmi, all these comes under trademark. The way they write it, the color used, the terms used, the phrase used, everything comes under trademark. So, and industrial design also. Okay, see the design. It can be few. You have seen many shapes, right? The shape alone, the design alone can be considered as a intellectual property, and that comes under design. So if you use a design, like if you use a round design for the button touch, okay, no one else can use that. Unless they have some other property along with it, they can use it. So with the phone, I have explained you the complete intellectual property, right? This phone is an example. Similarly, you have any device, any product, any process can be patented, unless there are 3 criteria, which I'll explain you. These are examples of patents. Next. These are examples of trademarks. As I told you, see how Coca-Cola is written, how Apple is depicted, and how Google, see the color of Google, the colors, all these are trademarks, okay? Trademarks of that particular company or brand, okay? How to say, it can be either just a symbol, okay, or a phrase, or a color, or a complete design. It can be anything. Anything can come under trademark. For example, Starbucks, if you see, you have a symbol, also Starbucks coffee. Together, they form as a trademark for the Starbucks. So these are all trademarks. These protect you from, like it's your brand, okay? Your product, it's your quality, everything. It protects you from that, okay? So that no one else uses your trademark or your logo and misuses it. So trademarks are also very important. Next. Okay, the other copyrights which I was telling about, other intellectual property, like copyright. Okay, copyright are literary work, paintings, photographs, your drawings, and like whatever is created out of your mind. It's a creativity, right? It's not an innovation or novelty. It is just creativity. Any design, any artistic work, or your anything which comes out of your creative side, that can be protected under copyright. Okay. And crop protection and trade secrets and geographical indications. These are all intellectual property rights, but not relevant to our daily routine. So copyrights, designs, and patents are the most important intellectual property. Okay. Next. Okay. Now I told you, like what I'll tell you in detail what patents are. Okay. A patent is an intellectual property, and it's the most important to me. According to me, patents are really important IP, and it has a validity period of 20 years from the start. Okay, when you file a patent, from the date of filing till the end date, till 20 years, you have protection. Okay, it's for a limited period of time. Unlike copyrights, for copyrights, you have a lot of what to say, you can have a many ideas, many things can be copyrighted, and you have an extend a lifetime validity for that. Unlike patents, you have a period for 20 years. For copyrights, you have a, like till your lifetime, you can have protection. So once you create something new or very creative, or you use something really artistic, you can protect it, and you have a lifetime of validity for that. Okay, but for patents it is 20 years. And what are the three main important criteria for you to go for a patent? Okay, it has to be novel, it has to have an inventive step. What is novelty is, like, you need not create something new, completely new, or which is not at all existing, right? You have to create something which is novel, which is already existing, but you are enhancing a feature to it. You are reducing few process in that. You are for example, there's a big device, you are constricting it and making it small and making it portable, then it is novel. Anything which is existing and you are making something, some alteration which is having a particular benefit, then it can be considered as novel. Okay, similarly, inventive step is like when you have identified your product, like you have identified something, you have some novel idea, some novel process, anything, something novel you have with you. Okay, to arrive at the novelty, how do you do it? You have a step, right? You have a process of doing it. For example, if it's a process, you have 3 to 4 steps to do that process, right? That process is important. For example, if you want to manufacture a device, the method of manufacturing is there, right? Or for example, if it's a composition, what are the ingredients within the composition? All these are all inventive steps. What you say is, to arrive at the end product, to arrive at the novelty, you have to go through a step, right? Those are called inventive step, and this is a second important criteria. Okay, and the third is, whatever you create, whatever your idea is, it has to have some industrial benefit. It must be useful for the society. It should have some industrial application. Only if these three criteria are there, you can proceed for a patent. It should be novel, it should be inventive, it should be useful for the community, society, or ourselves. Okay, these three criteria are important before you start going for a patent. Next slide. Okay. There are several, we need not think that inventing something new, identifying something novel is tough. Okay, there are several inventions created by students. For example, day-to-day life. The first picture you see, right? It's a laundry exercise combined machine. Okay, it was all these inventions, whatever I'm showing here, is by teenagers only. What they have created is like, laundry is a big work, right? Doing it's a time consuming process. She identified a process of doing her exercise along with laundry. When you do an exercise, the laundry is also done. So electricity is also saved, and it is an innovation. Your health is also benefited, right? Similarly, there are several inventions which are like for day-to-day problems. When students start addressing, it creates an impact, right? So these are all inventions. And one invention I want to particularly focus is that brownie. Okay, in Ethiraj we had a competition last year. It was related to innovations, and it was an innovative contest where students from every department participated. This brownie composition won the prize, and it was also taken for, this brownie was taken for patenting also. Like generally when you do a cake mix or any confectionery, you have few certain important items, right? Like you have the flour and chocolate, and you have sugar, everything, right? This patented, this is actually patent pending. She has applied for a patent now through our college. But the innovative feature of this is, she didn't use the usual ingredients at all. Her ingredients are completely novel, and it reduced cholesterol. It was also edible for diabetic patients. She addressed each and every problem a cake provides. Like too much of flour is not good for health. It's not good for health. And too much of sugar is not good for health. She identified alternative ingredients for that recipe, and then she made this cake. This cake, actually, you can see the patent pending in our website. Like any patent you apply, it comes in the IP India. Okay, you can check the patent also. She has applied. It's available in public domain. Just a small innovation to an existing product. She has applied a patent through college. Okay. Similarly, this year also we identify a novel idea through innovative contest. We are working on it, and what was surprising is a commerce students from Ethiraj identified a device. They can do it as a device or a system, or they can also have a portable kit also for psychology patients. Okay, they identified a kit. They are still in the process. They have identified a solution for any depressed students or any person who is affected. Okay, so see the cross domain. So what it is like, you need not be a commerce student to do something in commerce. You need not be a psychologist to do something in psychology, or you need not be a microbiologist to do something in microbiology. Anyone can do. Like cross domain is important. You have to learn knowledge from other domains also, but everyone can innovate. That is what innovation is, not a tough and a very difficult process. Some small idea which creates a change, you can innovate. Okay, next slide. Okay, now I told you what are all patentable. So anything is patentable. So that idea is clear now. So there are few restrictions to patents, okay, to your protections. Actually, anything which is existing already in nature, like water cannot be patented, right? But water used in a different way can be patented. So there are few non-patentable subject matters, like which is already existing in nature, which is just a discovery, you cannot patent it. For example, you have a mathematical formula that is not patentable. A principle, a scientific principle is not patentable. You identify a method of playing a game of chess, that is not patentable because it is your skill. It's a skill. You cannot protect it. Okay. Similarly, something is already, I told you, an already existing product can be patented when you enhance the property, right? So something is already existing, you are adding another component to it, then it is not patentable. So just reaction, aggregation, all these are not patentable. Some value addition, some innovation, some creativity which is having an advantage over the existing product can alone be patented. Okay, these are all non-patentable subject matters, and few more are there. Next slide. Generally, which is against a law of nature or something harmful for nature cannot be patented. For example, atomic energy, nuclear energy, these cannot be patented unless there is a specific permission from the IP government for a particular purpose for the government, then they can go for patent. Unless and otherwise, atomic energy, anything which is causing destruction or it's harmful for the environment, it's not patentable. Similarly, medicine is patentable. What I'm saying is method of treatment. A surgical method by a doctor cannot be patented. Why it is? Because when a doctor performs a surgery, it is a skill, right? It's a skill. He's performing a surgery. If that skill is protected, no one learns from him. So no one will be able to perform that surgery at all. So it is not good for the mankind, right? So few things like atomic energy, methods of treatment are all not patentable. And as I said, what is already existing is not patentable. Like for example, a plant, an animal, a part of a plant is not patentable. But when you change the plant part and you change it, genetically manipulate it or induce something, then it can be patented and it should have a benefit. For example, few bacteria are genetically manipulated to eat plastic, to eat oil. These microorganisms can be patented. Okay, they are not existing already. You are manipulating the DNA or the gene of the person. It can be even it can be anything, animal or microorganism. When you manipulate it, then you can go for patent. Similarly, algorithm, mathematical methods, business methods, a computer program, software, these are all not patentable. These all come under copyrights. You can protect it, like whatever algorithm you're using, you're developing apps, whatever applications you're developing, all those come under copyrights. The software can be protected. Maybe the method you use, the method or a system can be patented, but the copyright will be provided for the software you use. Okay. Similarly, literary, as I said before, artistic work, literary, musical, cinematographic works, television production, all these are copyrights. They cannot be patented. And others which traditional knowledge, this is also an important one. Like you already know, like particularly India maintains a traditional knowledge directory where each and every thing which we know from the beginning, like for example turmeric, neem, all these are already known to us. These products are not, these components are not patentable. Okay, traditional, we have to enhance the property, or for example if you want to patent a feature from turmeric, what you have to do is you should isolate it, you have to develop it, you have to identify a method. For example, you change the turmeric into a capsule form or a tablet form or something from that, and you are aggregating its property with other components also to enhance the benefit of it, then you can go for a patent. As such, a project or product or a component cannot be patented. Okay, next. Okay, these are examples of non-patentable subject matters like game, calculation, atomic energy. Farming and horticulture cannot be patented. A farming method cannot be patented. If one farmer has identified a method and he's farming, others won't be able to grow crops at all. So these are all not patentable. Next. Okay. The process of patenting is simple. Actually, when you have an idea, you determine the idea whether it really novel and if it's really patentable. Once you do that, there is a process like any, like a normal process where you apply for you do a prior, first of all you have to do a prior art search. Like you know it is a novel product, but you must check it. You must definitely check it before approaching for patent. There you have to perform a prior art search. Okay, prior art search is whatever is existing before your idea. You have an idea, you have to check in and around that idea whether something else is there, some other technology is there, some other method which is similar to the current method. We have to identify each and everything and then go for patenting. Once you are determined and you are sure that your idea is novel, then you go for applying. There are few processes for applying, like you apply for when you apply to the patent office, you draft the patent, you provide few features like description, like when you have seen a scientific publication, right? It's similar to that, like abstract, you should have a field of invention. There are few parameters that is very important, and you draft the patent and you file the patent. Once you have filed, the examiner there takes your patent, identifies it, reviews it, and then they give you a grant. Okay, this is the preliminary, like it's a basic system of applying for a patent. Okay, next. Okay, you have done, you have invented something, you have applied for a patent, you have protected everything. Then what else you do? Like you have a protection, you have everything. Once it is there, only when IP is commercialized, you get a value out of it. Anything, it can be any intellectual property, it can be a patent or copyright or anything for that matter. Once it is commercialized, then only you get a value out of it. As a document, it doesn't have any meaning. It just gives you a right over it. That's all. So when you have an idea and when you have an idea and you apply for a patent, you start having, you start having you start thinking on the business angle also. Okay, for example, you can focus on the market where you can start your product. For example, you have identified a new fragrance composition. I'm just giving you an example, a fragrance composition. So you understand the market and identify the market, and you can start developing the product also. Once you have the idea and you start the application process, meanwhile you can develop the idea also, develop on it, and either you can alone develop it and you can alone go for a business, or you can do a startup and have a business. Or you can also, what you can do is you can also collaborate with someone. You can collaborate with a corporate, or you can collaborate with any institution also, corporates, organization, or with the college also. Once you collaborate and start your innovation, you can actually, you need not completely develop the invention. You have help from the others. For example, you have the idea, you have the patent document with you. Whatever the raw material is there, you do not have it. Okay, so you approach an organization which has expertise in this field. What they can do is they will start manufacturing it for you. So you can come up on terms with them, some agreement with them, and you can start manufacturing it. And even before the grant, you can take the market also, because unless your product is not available anywhere else, you can go for the market. That you always do, like you do a prior art search and then only go for a patent, right? So you can do that. Once you identify the market, you have developed the product, you can start promoting it. This can be done in several ways. Either you license the manufacturing process, or you license the business part of it, or you license the complete thing. You have the complete right of your invention, and you are allocating each work to, like business, you assign to one person, and manufacturing assigned to one person. That can be done. So the idea and the documentation, the idea and filing of protecting it is very important, so that you have the complete right over it. After that, you can do any kind of signing agreements. For example, I told, right, our student from Ethiraj formulated a ingredient premix, eggless premix brownie composition, right? What she can do is, either she can do it as a business also. She can start promoting her product. She can start developing the product herself. She can start promoting her product, or she can give a license to all already existing companies which are in this market. Like for example, already Pillsbury, for example, I'm giving you Pillsbury. They already have flour in the market. What they can do is they can take hers and pay her also. Like she can provide a licensing or some agreement she can derive, and she can proceed. So whenever you protect something, it has value only if it is commercialized. Unless it is commercialized, you do not have any value for your patent. Okay. But even then, for example, you have an idea, you're not able to commercialize it, you are not able to collaborate with someone, you do not want to even do a startup. Okay, you just have an idea, you have filed a patent. Even then, it doesn't go as a waste. Okay, what you can do is identify people, major players in that area. Whoever is there in that area, what you can do is you can approach them and sell the complete patent. Even that creates money for you. Any idea, it will not be left as such. You can, even without developing the product, even without licensing it to someone, you can completely sell it to someone who's already a major player in this market. Definitely they'll be able to, unless your idea is really novel, it has a marketing value, they'll definitely buy your patents. So any idea, don't hesitate to start something because you don't know how to proceed with it. Start with whatever you have. Any idea is patentable. That's what with the following criteria, any idea can be patentable, and any idea once patented, you can derive value out of it also. Similar to patents, even copyrights are very important, right? Copyrights are also really like they give you complete rights over it. For example, copyrights is like what to say, you write a storybook or a novel, even that can be marketed, right? So copyrights and patents has value even if you yourself do not go to the start a business or go to the market and do. It has complete value. For example, copyrights even educational books, softwares for applications, and novels, and any literary fiction or any artistic, all this has protection, right? So even that can be marketed. So any IP, when you protect it, it has value. Okay. How to commercialize? That's all. We can go ahead for questions.
Shall we move on to the question session, question and answer session?
Yes.
So we have our first question. What are the common misconceptions about patents?
Generally, people say patents doesn't increase. I mean, it stops the innovation. Like one person has a patent, no other products develop around that patent. That's a misconception. Actually, once you have a patent, it initiates research. Actually, when you have a patent and you claim few things in a patent, that's where research starts. People identify gaps from our patent and they start innovating a product. It's not a monopoly. It's like people think having a patent is monopoly and no competition is there. It's not at all that way. This is a major misconception on patents. And patent as such, they think just filing a patent doesn't add value. Definitely, patents, once it you have a patent, you have to commercialize it to get the benefits of it.
Right. Thank you. So the next question. The next question here is, can we choose to copyright to authenticate our innovative work, or patent is mandatory?
Yeah, copyright and patent are different. As I explained, copyrights are whatever you have created, your creativity is protected in copyrights. Your art is protected. It does not require patent unless you identify a complete product or a process, a complete mechanism, then you go for a patent. Copyright can be given for just a book also. You can write a book and get a copyright for that. And they will check for plagiarism. If it's clear, you can go get a copyright. But patent is completely like you innovate, you identify few problems, address it, and then you go for a patent. So copyright, it's not like patent and copyrights are two different IP.
So they're two different genres completely.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The next question we have. Despite the patent system to protect IP, there still exists potential infringements to the same. So how can this be tackled?
Yeah, actually, if you protect, you have the right, but you cannot avoid people infringing it. There are many infringement searches to be done. Like once you are in a market and you know people are doing it, there are searches. You have to do a due diligence search once a product is launched. You have to keep on identifying who is infringing. Once you have identified whoever is infringing, you can, with the filing date, with the patent document, you can get the royalty from them. But you have to constantly identify people who are infringing, and you can definitely, since you have a patent document, the right is with you, so you can get the royalty from them.
So we need to be on the lookout always.
Yeah, we need to be on the lookout. Yeah.
Okay. The next question here. What are your suggestions for young budding patent drafters?
Yeah, patent drafting is a big process actually. Like patent as a field, like a patent is when you like reading, researching, when you like reading and analyzing, patent is a best field. Patent drafting is a skill. Once you start reading and understanding a patent document, drafting comes automatically. Like it's just like a scientific publication. You have a abstract methods, materials, conclusion, results. Similarly, patent has few sections. Once you start analyzing patents, search patents, then you will start drafting patents immediately.
Okay. The next question. What are the issues faced by you as a patent agent, and how did you overcome all that?
As a patent agent, like I'm recently qualified as a patent 2 years before, but I was into patent field for a long time. First, like patent agent, as a patent agent, nothing as an issue. Like you just have to study, know the sections, know the laws, know the forms, and how the legal system in India works, how the patent office works. That part you have to learn and study. That comes under experience. But generally, as a patent, I never knew there is a field for IP. There is a field for patent for any graduate. I didn't know. Once on job, I understood what patent is. Then I started learning. So before joining somewhere, I never knew what patents are. Only after getting into the job, I understood what patents are. I was blank. So each day was a learning to me in patents. Till now, it's a learning. It's a vast ocean. Still, I'm learning in patents.
So every day is a learning experience, and to read a lot.
True.
Okay. The next question here. Is the patent and copyright valid internationally, or is it restricted to the Act in India?
Yeah, it is restricted to India. Like patent, wherever you file the patent, only to that territory it is restricted. But from this document, what you have filed a patent in India, you want protection elsewhere, you can show this document and file a patent. Similar document can be filed across countries. But wherever you file, it is restricted to that area alone. Any IP is restricted to that area.
Okay, thank you. So again, how important is a patent agent in India?
Okay. Any researcher, actually, any inventor can go apply for a patent. That can happen. That there is no rule against it. But a patent agent knows the legal system as well as the technical knowledge. Patent agents will be from technical backgrounds, either from science, arts, or engineering. It will be a technical background. So once you're qualified as a patent agent, you will know the government system, also the IP legal system, how patent is being processed, as well as the technical thing. So the drafting process, the complete system can be taken care of a patent agent. And when an inventor, generally researchers and inventors are more experienced in publications and writing research articles. So their language and their way is totally different from patent language and how we do it. Maybe they can get a grasp of it after some time, but through a patent agent, it facilitates getting a patent.
Okay. Thank you so much, Divya. That was the last question. Thanks for answering all that patiently.
Thank you.
I now call upon Ms. Kavya, E-Leader, to express her gratitude.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to one and all. On behalf of the Incubation Cell of Ethiraj College For Women, I would like to place my sincere gratitude to Ms. Divya Sridharan for taking the time to connect with our students for an enlightening session. Patenting plays an important role in entrepreneurship, and I'm sure that your session has given us a great insight about the same, ma'am. I'm confident that our budding entrepreneurs would be now very clear on how crucial it's important to protect your innovation. Also, thank you, ma'am, for patiently answering all the questions. Heartfelt thanks to the attendees for their participation and support. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all once again.
An important announcement, dear participants. The feedback link for today's session will be posted in the description box and the chat box. Kindly fill in your responses within 1 hour. I'll repeat. The feedback link for today's session will be posted in the description box and chat box. Kindly submit your responses for today's session within 1 hour. Also, let us connect again tomorrow for day 3, the final day of our webinar series at 4 p.m. sharp. Until then, take care, stay safe.